Seriously, screw you. You're gonna call you're going to call me the murderer all because Eden said so? That's so inane. I don't even know where to start. Bro, I mean, you kinda spitting though. You gotta spit though.
Even so,
This is the choice that I've made. Whether it was right remains to be seen. But for now, I'll trust in my own judgment, regardless of whether you like it. Okay, talk to him. Wait, hold on. I'm not saying that Eden did it, but are you sure that the killer is Ace? The whole trial, we've been asking who eavesdropped on Arturo, RA, and Eden so well that no one realized that they were being spied on. And you're saying that the answer to that question is a guy who has never heard of the term indoor voice? I don't think it's Ace still. I really don't think it's him. No, it must have been Ace. The more I think about it, the more I'm sure. Okay, see, her saying that makes me think that she did it. She's just trying to get suspense. I mean, she's trying to get suspicions off of herself.
that must be it.
It was him. He was the one stalking me. Okay.
Huh?
Huh, could it be that one time? Who's there? I know you've been following me. Or maybe not. What? No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Maybe I was wrong. Oh, it's just you, Terrica. What are you doing here? Wait, she says, I always had the feeling that someone was following me around. It must have been when Ra and I was talking. You heard that Ra and I was talking. My bad. To be honest, I always thought it was weird that Ace of all people managed to eavesdrop on David and Ra's conversation without being discovered.
think about it.
But if what Eden says is true, then I guess it would be consistent with Ace's apparent ability to sneak around. I mean, hey,
see.
could it be that he was originally planning to kill Eden, but switched targets when he saw that Ra had a weakness that he could exploit?
Fuck you!
He said, that was not me, and you have no way of proving it. But I do. Even if you deny that, Ace, for someone who claims to be innocent, you still always seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know, bro. I don't think it's him. There's a very narrow window in which the fish found at this crime scene could have been taken, which is last evening. Any earlier, Nico would have noticed the missing fish. Any later in the relaxation room would have been closed. And you yourself confirmed that you were in the area at that time. After all, earlier in this trial, you made a big show of revealing that you were listening in on Ra and David's conversation last evening. Once they left, you were free to take all the fish. So, Nico also could have taken it or lied about not seeing any missing fish. And isn't that why you took the fish at all? To frame Nico? No, not true. Yes, true. I don't play this coy game with you. Coy
Wait
fish?
a minute.
Something's off about that. You're saying that Ace killed Ra in a way that specifically resembled Nico's murder, but the only chance that Ace had to take the tape was while he was being murdered? That means that Ace figured out Nico's murder method and thought up a way to imitate it right after he was nearly killed. I just don't think that's realistic.
That's true.
Indeed, he clearly was not in the right state of mind at the time. Besides, he was injured. He did run off really quickly after regaining consciousness. Yeah, so even less reason that he would have figured out a way to murder Ra with the tape then.
I disagree.
That's not necessarily true. Ace didn't need to figure out Nico's murder method in a few seconds. He had a whole day. Well, after all, why were you in the gym the day after you almost got murdered, Ace? I'd like to think that most people don't want to go back to the scene of their almost death so eagerly. Unless, of course, you needed to return to the scene of the crime to work out how it was done. Oh, snap. Then you're saying that Ace only determined his method of murder after a full day of... After he took the tape? That doesn't make sense. Uh-oh, why is he looking like that? Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for me to take the tape unless I had thought up this plan to kill Ari within a few seconds, and that's impossible. Well, I don't know. You're kind of making me feel differently now, Ace. It's not impossible. Unfortunately, I can't prove what you were truly thinking at the time with the evidence. No one can prove that but yourself. But I can easily conjecture at least 3 reasonable explanations for why it would be possible off the top of my head. 1. Given that you were stalking Eden before the Nico incident, you were already planning a murder beforehand. You entered the gym with the pre-existing intent to take the tape for some different unspecified murder plan and changed your mind on the details later. 2. You were pretending to be unconscious for longer than we thought. And 3. You took the tape for first aid. That's ridiculous. Who uses non-medical tape for first aid? That's preposterous. No, yes. Okay, Arturo's really good. I like him still. It's not that weird. I do it all the time.
Ugly.
That's sickening. Oh my goodness. Well then, there's 3 reasons to disprove the claim that you couldn't have done the murder. Are you satisfied with that, Ace?
That's just a load of crap.
Oh, screw off. None of this is real evidence. And don't go saying that lack of evidence to disprove me being the killer somehow proves that I am the killer. What is this? Some sort of devil's pews? It's that called. Try not to laugh, Wit. Try not to laugh. You dumb. Whoa. How stupid are you? Were you convinced by Eden because she had a sob story ready? Should I start crying and wailing too to change your mind? Terrico, no. Everyone here, you're always attacking me for stupid reasons. Everyone always has it out for me.
You piss me off.
All of you. He's kind of right, though.
You're wrong.
But he does have it kind of coming. No, the more I discuss this, the more I realize that you are the more suspicious than Eden. It's true that Ace seems more likely a murderer than her, based on his personality alone. I'd certainly suspect him over her. I wonder if you have more concrete evidence that implicates him, though. Does she? Do you even hear yourself right now? I'm a murderer because of my personality.
Oh shit.
You're all, you said, you sons of, all about concrete evidence until it comes to me, apparently. Show me your neck scars. What? That time Eden and I found your body. I remember there being scratches on your neck and blood on your hands. You scratched yourself hard, didn't you? You must have woken up while you were being strangled and instantly clawed at your neck. Even though Nico, Eden, and I all saw your scars too, we all ended up disregarding such a small detail after a day had passed. But you probably never forgot, even if everyone else did. After all, you have to live with your scars every day. Even if you've been pretending that you're fine, it still hurts, doesn't it?
Listen to me.
Because of that, you of all people know best to tape up Ari's hand so that she wouldn't be able to do the same thing. That way, Ari's wrists were bound because you didn't want to wake her up mid-murder to claw at her neck.
You fucking idiot.
That's the dumbest stuff I've ever heard. You think that I'm the only one here capable of thinking about tying up her wrists? I thought I was supposed to be the stupidest one here. What's the deal with that? Take off your bandages and show everyone your neck injury.
You know.
You have a way to easily prove everyone wrong, but if you refuse to show us your scars, then we'll take it as a sign that Terrico's right about you having scratched your neck. What's wrong? You seem stressed. They're only wounds. What's the issue? They kind of could it be that almost being murdered has traumatized you a little bit? Bro, she's nuts.
Asshole.
You think that this almost being killed could have maybe given me a little trauma?
Sorry.
Even so, for the sake of this trial, can't you try and be a little more useful? No, it's fine. That's not a very fine line of logic, so forget it. You were almost murdered after all. I shouldn't have understood that. I should have understood that. Not to mention, this line of reasoning is the dumbest thing I've heard all trial. You're kind of suspicious now, Doug. I could have theoretically taken the fish and the tape, so that means I'm the killer. Because I scratched my neck, it means that only I could have tied Ari's hands together. Are you even hearing yourself? No, you're right. I guess that's not really solid evidence. But she's finna pull a Uno reverse. And look, I can still contribute evidence to this trial, too.
Oh, really?
Ace is actually being helpful. Clear out your ears and listen to me. If you're gonna base this entire witch hunt after me on the fact that this case looks like Nico's murder or something, why don't you actually use your dusty brains and think about it? Dusty brains. Unlike Nico, I'm not a lying snake who pretends to be friendly to steal stuff from other people. There's no way I could have accessed turpentine or whatever to knock RA out, like they knocked me out. He's right. Only Nico took it from me, and I really doubt they gave it to Ace afterwards.
Stop that!
You're always attacking Nico like that. Stop. Please stop, Hugh. It's the truth, though, and Rose is right. I kept it. I still have the turpentine in my room. I'm sorry. Do we even know that Ari was knocked unconscious at some point?
Idiot.
Obviously, if you put the noose on her neck and then run to the spinner to start hoisting her up, she has ample time to get out of the noose, Baka.
Cut that out.
Don't insult me with your sarcasm, you lowlife. We've already established that her hands were taped. Then it would be a lot easier to tape the wrist of an unconscious person than to wrangle her on it. Into it, my bad. Idiot. How unfortunate that you brought that up, as if it proves your innocence, Ace. Because the answer to that, something that only makes sense if you and not Eden are Ari's murderer. You are a jockey, and that's a fact.
Think about it.
Not just any regular jockey, but one of the nation's top performing ones. And that means that you should have an unusual amount of strength, much more than Eden, Ari, or Nico. Really, didn't Xander crush him at arm wrestling? An arm wrestling contest is a poor indication of overall fitness. Not to mention that even if Ace was weaker than Xander, I fail to see what that has to do with comparative strength between Ace and Eden. Yeah, he is pretty strong compared to everybody else from the list I saw. Obviously, if it was anything other than an arm wrestling contest, I would have crushed him.
What the fuck?
Wait, that's not the point. Why does it make me the killer?
Use your brain.
Can you use your brain and draw some conclusions? Although I suppose the fact that you're being accused of murder incentivizes having basic intelligence. I'm saying that you could have simply strangled Ari unconscious. Would that have really worked? What do you mean? Possibly. If Ace really did lure Ari out there with the note, then he's had the advantage of knowing when and where she would be showing up. He'd have the element of surprise on his side as well.
How
If Ace had
terrible.
done that, this sounds horrible to say, but couldn't he have simply choked her to death with his own hands? Yeah, that is true. I really still don't think that's him. I'm sorry. Nope, you just said it yourself. It's horrible.
Pathetic.
Full offense, but I kind of doubt Ace, of all people, has the stomach to kill someone with his bare hands, especially seeing as he's just a little bit sensitive about his own neck now. David's probably my favorite guy.
Shut up.
You're a complete. You know that.
You're delusional.
How many times have I told you to take a good hard look at yourself first before you call others unlikable? The call is coming from inside the house.
Stop talking.
Speculation on Ace's psychological state cannot be used as concrete evidence in this trial. Big talk coming from you, Wit's little testimony about your psychological state was the only thing that saved you last trial. Your input is unnecessary. In any case, what's more important is that the fact that the murder had to be carried out in a very specific manner because Ace was trying to imitate Nico's murder. The reason that Ace had to use a drop hanging mechanism rather than strangle Ari with his own hands is so that it would look like the very same mechanism that Nico used.
It seems that...
A long rope, drop hanging, a mechanism to wind up the rope. Perhaps some could be led to believe that Nico attempted the same murder method a second time with several improvements made in light of its initial failure. But I wouldn't try the same thing twice. Well, only those who are unintelligent could fall for something like that, but Ace is nothing if not unintelligent, so it would be fair for him to think that this is a good murder plan. In any case, if there were signs of barehanded strangulation, that would almost certainly point to athletic people like him. That is the reason Ace had to hang Ari to scapegoat Nico and redirect blame from himself.
I agree.
Charles is right. The reason Ari was killed in this manner was to pin blame on Nico. From the very start, Ace has been insisting that Nico was the murderer. So of course I'd be suspicious. I'd be suspicious of them. They tried to kill me. Dang it. I didn't initially strike me that Ace kept jumping to blame Nico. I mean, it's not that surprising.
Look at this.
He was almost killed, and then, even though he survived, he's still injured. That sounds like an awful experience. Most people would have sport a heavy grudge against Nico for that.
Even so.
But in hindsight, Ace has been abnormally insistent about Nico's guilt, given by his standards, almost as if he had planned this entire murder to pin the blame on them.
But
Why was Ari hanging from the swing set when we found her? I wasn't. That doesn't resemble your murder scheme in the slightest, right? There's really only one reason to set up Ari's body like that, and that's to try and pass off the murder as a suicide. Pinning the murder on you was plan B, most likely. But in this case, plan B was also the main plan.
the truth is.
Ace probably understood even if he tried to pass the murder off as a suicide, most people would have quickly realized Ari would have been murdered anyway, due to the rules of this killing game. Still, it was worth a shot. Ari died from a neck injury and she was in the noose to begin with. You might as well. It's not like you're particularly going out of your way to do so, nor would you have anything to lose. So if I'm understanding this correctly, Ace choked out Ari unconscious because he didn't have any other method of knocking her unconscious, but he ended up killing her using hanging to pin the blame on Nico. Correctamundo. And to reiterate, very few people are capable of choking someone to the point of unconsciousness. That points the blame to him. But is Ace even capable of doing a feat of strength like that? He's injured after all.
Why am I putting up with you?
Why are you coming to Ace's defense? If we aren't suspecting him, we would be suspecting you. You know that, don't you? Baka. I forgot about that. But still, it doesn't seem right. I saw it for myself. He was bleeding heavily from his neck when we found him, and he's still in bandages even now. With such a horrible injury like that, there's no way Ace could have exerted himself. Not really, it was a superficial neck wound.
Shut up!
Superficial? That's bullcrap. I haven't been in pain for this long for you to call this superficial.
You're wrong.
But you're still talking, aren't you? You had no issue talking even right after you woke up. When it comes to neck wounds, if you're still capable of talking freely, then it means that the neck wound isn't serious. It signals that nothing important or internal was damaged. She's kinda right. Admittedly, that's only a rule of thumb, not a hard rule, but Ace has been moving around fine this whole time anyway.
How cruel.
Even though his neck is bandaged now, it did look like it hurt a lot back when we found him.
Listen to me.
I'm not trying to downplay his injury. After all, he lost so much blood in such a violent way. I don't mean to say it's not painful, because I'm sure it is, nor am I saying that there wouldn't be any lasting impacts from a wound such as that. But it shouldn't really impact his movement, as long as he has a tolerance to pain. All the physical movement required to carry out this murder may hurt, true, but it's not impossible for him to do.
I'm confused.
But even if he didn't have the neck wound, isn't Ace kind of weak? Huh? Xander crushed him in arm wrestling. Also, he's kind of small and he doesn't eat a lot. Xander was that strong. He's, I don't think he could have hoisted Ari up with the spinner. Seconded, he's a scrawny little guy. He is strong. He's a freaking jockey. Strength aside, I have another issue with the idea that Ace could have killed Ari. Is the song stopping? Is something gonna happen?
Isn't Ace too stupid?
I've said that too.
The way we've described this murder so far, it involves a lot of careful planning, foresight, and subtlety. Not only is Ace sort of stupid, but he's also super impulsive and loud. I don't really buy that he could have planned something so complicated.
Are you seriously? You all actually think I'm too goddamn stupid to accomplish anything? Do you really think I'm 2 seconds away from choking on my own spit and passing out?
Oh, that hit a nerve, didn't it?
Of course it did! I don't think I'm a genius. But even then, I'm not a fucking monkey.
I love Veronica, but her tone just sounds so condescending.
Do you deny being weak?
Of course!
Do you deny being stupid?
Of course! Why wouldn't I?
So you admit you're capable of committing this murder?
Of course I... What?
You have a choice, Ace. Swallow your pride and say that you're too weak, too stupid, and too incompetent to perform this murder. Accept the fact that no one thinks highly of you. Or defend your dignity at the risk of admitting that you're perfectly capable of committing this murder and continue to be our #1 suspect.
Defend his dignity? Not like he had any in the first place. It's Ace we're talking about here.
Why are they on him so bad?
This is what it all comes down to, huh?
But I would just
Why is
swallow
this
it.
the choice I have
Pause.
to make here of all things?
I would just, yeah.
You want me to choose between my dignity and my life? Ha! I've been forced to make this choice constantly! This whole time I've been trapped in this godforsaken murder game! Stuck with a bunch of people who think I was born defective! David is an annoying bastard, and I hate his guts! But he's right! What dignity do I have at this point? Everyone thinks I'm a stupid, weakling coward who isn't good for anything but screaming! So yeah, I agree with you all. I'm too fucking incompetent to pull off this murder. I'm a total goddamn idiot baby who can't tell his left from his right if it was written on my hands.
Did they try to set him up, maybe?
Suspect Eden of murder instead of me. At least you all respect her.
That's not Ace, I'm sorry. Nope, I wouldn't say sorry. I disagree with Ace. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to choose to put faith in his intelligence and his abilities. Everyone else, I expected better of you. At the very least, I was hoping you would all take even a slightly logical approach to this trial.
Stop talking.
Really, Ace is too stupid to commit murder? What a rash judgment based on nothing but intelligent-based biases. Aren't you the de facto intelligent-based person? Based guy? Biases guy. Why can't I read? You already said Ace was super dumb like 3 times already. Plus, you called me stupid all the time.
Shut up!
I'm not above making rash judgment calls on other people's intelligence, I admit it. It's just that when other people do it, it truly gets on my nerves, so I have an issue with now this line of logic. I'm the only one reasonable enough to make that sort of judgment call. Everyone else who does it is being biased to the point of idiocy. You're doing it again.
Get it!
My point stats. All these slights leveled at Ace's abilities or biases, nothing more. There is no particular reason he shouldn't be able to commit this murder. Do you think he's too stupid to carry out this murder? How do you intend to rigorously prove his innocence with that logic? Will you have Ace sit through an IQ test and then quote a scientific study that proves that his IQ and threshold incapable of planning murder? No such study exists. The only argument that could be measurably proven is the idea that he is too weak to carry out some of these physical feats, but even that is complete nonsense. Once again, he is an ultimate whose talents is of the athletic variety. It is practically his nature to have impressive strength. Really, you all severely underestimate what being a jockey entails. Do you all think that this job is simply to sit on a horse? If that is the case, then all horses races would be run by horses weighing 100 pounds of sand. Carrying 100 pounds of sand.
That's true.
Charles is right. It is really no simple task to control a horse going over 40 miles an hour on a regular basis. It just requires physical strength and endurance. Intense training 6 days a week is standard, and the physical tests that jockeys have to go through are grueling, to say the least. I'm sure that even if Ace doesn't give off the impression, he is someone who works super hard. Because of that, I can confidently say that Ace would probably be able to outperform most people here in quite a few physical benchmarks. I'd say like 90%. Maybe not in every physical feat like arm wrestling. But the argument that he's weak doesn't make any sense at all.
Disappointing.
It's only because people are uneducated that they think jockeying could be possibly easy. The Crunning-Duger effect, not what it's called. In any case, that is significantly lengthy enough digression from me. I have debunked your claims. Ace is always killer. Do not refute me again on the matter unless you enjoy being incorrect. He's not her killer. I feel like it's too easy. I got your point several times ago, alright? Several minutes ago. You didn't have to drag that on for so long to say that I'm wrong.
I'm done here.
Then simply do not be wrong in the future. Wow. If, like Charles said, biases should be disregarded in this trial, then all we have left is the evidence. And no matter how I look at it, the evidence points to Ace. The tape. The resemblance to Nico's murder. Outright strangulation.
What?
That strangulation thing is still bullcrap, as if I'm the only person strong enough to choke her out. Why not something like Levi, since he's so strong and reliable? Or maybe, I don't know. As if I know anything about how strong the rest of you guys are. But assuming that I'm the only person here strong enough to murder R.A. because I'm a jockey is idiotic. I will agree with that. No, it isn't. Don't forget that we were never to down the killer, just you and Eden. There's an extraordinary difference in strength between the professional athlete and Eden, a difference far too large to be overlooked. Unless it's not, then we were just wrong. We're not saying that you, out of everyone here, could have done it because you're a jockey. We're simply saying that between you and Eden, you're much more likely to have done it. I expected everyone else to get on me, but for you, of all people, to think I'm the murderer. What happened to ever wanted to make things up, huh? Don't do that. Don't guilt trip him. Besides, between you and me, we both know who's really a murderer.
Ace.
Shut up!
Just shut up already. It's all bullcrap. Everything you're saying is bull.
There's no way I could have done any of the shit you're suggesting! Being a jockey doesn't make me some kind of god!
He's sorta right. If we assume Ace is R.A.'s murderer, it explains a lot of things. But it doesn't explain everything.
Let's think about how he would have done the murder again. Especially in the context of comparing it to Nico's murder.
There's a big difference between the two, though. Nico hung their wire off of the ceiling of the gym by standing on a stepladder. But the playground ceiling is much higher.
How the hell would I have gotten the rope up there? You're insane if you think I could have climbed up there too.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
I love that so much in Danganronpa, bro. You're right in stating that the playground ceiling is much too high to climb up.
Even so.
But you could have thrown it over the rafters by tying one end of the rope to a weight. Wait? What weight? This. What is that? Is that my clothes and Teruko's? Mono TV must have left these around the dress-up room.
It seems
If you heavily starch it with laundry starch and then tie it up with the rope, it makes a suitable weight. It's light and easy to toss around. I don't think Ace is smart enough for that, though. What, so I just chucked it up over there? You dumb? How could I have thrown it that high? And don't repeat the same stupid arguments you've been spouting all this time and say that it's because I'm a jockey. Nothing about a jockey skill set would suggest that I have a good throwing arm. In fact, I don't. I'll go ahead and admit that I'm not capable of doing that. I can't even throw a baseball to save my own life. But there's other evidence to suggest you did throw it up there. Yes. Some of the ceiling lights were broken, probably from your failed attempts. What do you have to say to that, Ace? How are you going to defend yourself now?
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
No, it isn't.
Complete bullshit! I mean, are you jackasses out of your mind?
Maybe it was him.
Do you even hear the diarrhea stream of shit coming out of your mouths? I mean, I could have
Diarrhea stream.
performed this murder because I'm a jockey? Are you fucking stupid? Just because I'm somewhat athletic, it means no one else could have committed the murder?
Somewhat athletic as a
Try
bit crazy.
washing your vegetables before you eat them? Or did you all get a parasitic infection of brain worms over the past
Brain worms.
Ace!
I don't want to hear anything from you most of all, Eden. It's because of your whiny little crying spell that Terako decided to come after me. All because she pities you. Eden, Nico, and Terako are all just as suspect. So why am I being attacked? You're all always assuming the worst of me. How is that fair? Especially after I nearly got murdered myself. Now Nico is going to get off scot-free and I'm going to be punished? You're corrupt! All of you!
He kind of has a point with the Nico part, though.
Stop yelling!
doing? You're not helping your case.
Why? Why do I have to shut my trap, but everyone else can say whatever the hell they want? Am I not allowed to speak for myself? What kind of bullshit rape trial are you all running here? You don't have any real evidence to pinpoint me! Shut the fuck up! If I survive this trial, I will actually kill all you bastards for real!
Well, we know who's dying next if you know.
I didn't fucking kill her!
This is cool.
You're so full of shit!
I like this.
Is there something wrong with your brain? You bastard! I'm going to kill you! Why don't you try accusing someone else? You're so full of shit! You've always had it out for me!
This game looks beautiful, by the way. Well, the
There's
series.
something wrong with your brain? I'm going to kill you! How could I have thrown the rope that high? You have no proof I'm capable of making a throw like that!
It ends here.
Was it really Ace, bro?
Ah!
Listen to me.
You say there's no way you could have thrown that rope over one of the rafters. And perhaps that's true. The ceiling of the playground is so high that it would be quite difficult for anyone to throw the weight over the rafters. But if a feat of strength is too difficult for you, then it'd be downright impossible for Eden or for our only other suspect. And there's one other way you could have gotten the rope up there, a method that only you could use. You and only you could have made a slingshot to launch the weight. Specifically, you made a slingshot out of this. What's that?
I see.
That's a fitness stretch band. Certainly you could wrap it around the bars in the playground to create a makeshift slingshot. Then you could have easily launched the weight. A fitness stretch band, that kind of thing would be found in the gym, correct? Why would that point to him specifically? I've never seen such a thing in my gym, in the gym. Normally this piece of evidence wouldn't incriminate anyone in particular, however. What is this, a big rubber band? You really have never been to a gym before, have you? Something like this would be useful for physical therapy. Since I injured my shoulder, it might be helpful to me. What's that? You need this? I don't necessarily need it, but... Too bad. Mine now. I'm keeping it. Choke on your spit and die. That was so funny when I first saw it.
You're wrong.
Ace took it from the very start for the simple, petty reason that he was trying to spite Levi. Ace is the only person who had the stretch band, so he's the only person who could have done it. Isn't that right? I can back that up as well. I was there. Ace very clearly took it for himself.
Bullshit!
You're lying to verify Terrico's made-up story? Okay, it was you, buddy. I would not lie about this. Did you really only take that stretch band back to anger me?
Why don't we discuss?
In other words, based on the evidence that we've collected so far, you're the only one who could have killed R.A. I think it's too, like, obvious, right? You're one of the few people who could have rendered R.A. unconscious. You're one of the two people who could have taken the tape from the gym for a murder the next morning. And you're the only person who could have used a stretch band. That certainly narrows it down to you. No. I refuse to believe that.
Son of a bitch.
Believe it. You're acting suspicious as heck anyways. Are we going to vote now? If everyone is convinced, that means we vote.
Shut up!
Shut your mouth. As if I'd listen to anything you'd say. If I used water jugs to weigh down R.A., where would I have stored them, huh? You still haven't answered that. Until you explain that, I'm not convinced. There are still so many holes in your theory. I won't rest until you answer that.
Shut up, Ace!
Bro.
Do you even understand what this class trial is? Tell me, how do we decide who's the murderer?
What?
We determine who lives and who dies by a majority vote. In other words, the opinion of everyone who isn't you. Who cares where you stored the water jugs? There are so many places where you could have easily stored something that innocuous.
Well,
All the other evidence points to you anyway, and everyone here is convinced of your guilt. The point of the trial is to determine who the killer is, not to determine every single little detail of what happened.
I love Crazy Eye Terrico.
It doesn't matter that you're not convinced. It's not going to help you nor change your fate. No matter how you feel or what you think, nothing will change.
Hey, she got on him.
The only thing that will save you is if everyone here believes that you're innocent. You think that your whining and screaming is going to change our minds?
She has a good point, though.
That if you call us all stupid and wrong, we're going to magically decide not to vote for you out of the goodwill of our hearts? If anything, you acting like this only makes you more suspicious.
Yeah.
I've been fighting this entire trial to find the truth using real evidence. And when I make mistakes, I own up to them. What have you contributed?
Hey.
Show me some concrete proof of your innocence. Otherwise, shut up and stop wasting everyone's time.
That's my girl right there.
Are you silent now? What happened to all those things you were shouting earlier? Don't you have anything to say for yourself? Any evidence? Any deductions to show that you're innocent? Come on, Ace! Don't you want to live? Defend yourself!
Hey, she wants him to.
God damn it. I'm such a piece of shit.
Ace?
Yeah, you're right. I'm screwed. There's no way I'm making it out of this trial alive. I just wanted to stall for time. I'm scared of dying. I really am.
Then I give up. Now that I know I'm dead, there's no point in fighting. I don't even want to yell anymore. I'm tired.
I killed R.A. That's exactly right.
It sounds really bad when I say it out loud. He really did, bro?
How could you do that?
Did you kill her because of his motive? Because you wanted to keep your secret hidden? I don't care about the motive or my dumb little secret, you idiot. Who do you think I am? You? Haha. Jesus. That wasn't why I killed her.
I was scared of dying. That's all.
What do you mean? I'm definitely going to die in this killing game if I don't escape. Everyone hates me, right? Because I'm a volatile who can't help but pick fights and make people mad at me. Veronica was right. If pushed to kill, everyone would feel the least guilt if they killed me. They might even have some sort of grudge. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd see what he means by that, though. When Nico tried to kill me, that just confirmed it. There's a part of me that's a little angry that Nico didn't succeed back then, because that would have saved me the trouble having to go through this stupid farce. Although I'd be really angry if they did successfully kill me. I'm kind of angry at Nico for trying to kill me either way.
But still, if I didn't kill someone and escape, then I was going to die. I'm fucking terrified of dying. I can't sleep at night because I keep thinking about how I'm going to die young in this goddamn killing game. I didn't want to die. I want to live, just like everyone else.
I feel bad. Just a little bit. Live and escape this killing game and go back to my crappy life where I can't do anything on my own because I can't control myself. Back to that life where I can't do anything but a sport that I hate because I suck bad at everything else. I was forced into that fate, to kill someone because I'm scared. It was either that or I would be killed first. There were no other options for me because I'm a coward who can't fight my own fate. But that's selfish. Even if you felt that way, you still killed her, and you were willing to let the rest of us die for your own sake. Don't you feel bad? You're so funny. Quit your job as a clockmaker and become a stand-up comedian. Do you think I give a crap about you all? Why would that matter to me? No one gives a crap about me either. None of you even respect me enough to think I was capable of killing her. In fact, that made me feel way less guilty about killing. Hey, I understand. Everybody was just
So what? Get over yourself.
they were just talking bad about him.
It sounds like your life sucks. Maybe you do have a right to feel that way. I admit, hearing you talk, all I can think is, I'm glad I'm not you.
Jesus.
Maybe I was too harsh on you. Me and everyone else here. I don't think a single one of us stopped to think where the breaking point is. But murder is unacceptable, no matter what.
I agree.
Your problems might be awful, and they might be the worst in the world, but they're still not so bad that killing 13 people is acceptable.
Yeah.
You can't be forgiven as a murderer just because your life sucks.
I know that. I'm the one who murdered Ari, so of course I know that. Ari, she was a piece of shit too. Just like me. Even if she said all that nice bullshit to Eden, there was no guarantee she was really going to change and become a good person. Maybe if she lived, then by tomorrow, she'd be right back to her annoying bitchy self. But at least she was trying.
Dang, Ace. And I can't even change one thing about myself. Not my crappy job, nor my crappy personality, nor my crappy life.
I really am a piece of shit, huh?
Nico should feel kind of bad. Oh my, how tragic. That's... how cruel.
Fuck you!
You have nothing left to say, then just vote already. Put me out of my misery already. They were all just quiet.
Voting time!
Are we all ready to vote? Before we do that, allow me to go over the case one more time to confirm that we all understand this murder. I forget, did this have voice acting? Why do you have to remind me of all the screwed up stuff I did? I already feel like crap. I don't want to think about what I've done. Not now nor ever. But don't you know, Ace, this is Danganronpa. It has to be done. Makoto, Hajime, Shuichi, they've done it before me. No, I have to do it. Confront the mistakes you've made, then accept death. That's the fate of everyone who chose to participate in this killing it. They didn't choose.
The culprit, Ace, decided to choose Are as his victim when he overheard Are comforting Eden. He was originally planning to kill Eden. However, when he learned that Are was strongly motivated to prove herself to Eden, he realized he would be able to take advantage of that. He forged a letter from Eden, asking Are to meet her at 7:30 a.m. in the playground, and slipped it under Are's door sometime during the evening. Before official nighttime started, he filled some jugs with water from the relaxation room's pond and stored them somewhere. During that night, he began preparing for his murder. Ace specifically chose a method of murder that resembled the way Nico tried to murder him a few days ago, so he could pin the blame on Nico.
That is surprising to me, though. I really didn't think Ace would have did it.
He began by setting up a mechanism for drop hanging in the playground. He wrapped high-friction tape around the bars of the carousel to give it more friction. He took the stretch band he had and tied it around the bars to create a makeshift slingshot. Then, he tied Are's rope, which he got from the storage, around a starched ball of old clothing and used his slingshot to launch it over one of the ceiling rafters. This took him a few tries, and he broke some of the lights in the process. He then tied one end of the rope to the carousel. Afterwards, he tied the other end of the rope into a noose after securing the water jugs through the rope. He tested this setup multiple times until he figured out the right length of rope to use. With this, his preparations were complete.
He had a bit of time to try this, actually.
Are arrived at the playground at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, expecting Eden. But instead, she was ambushed by Ace, who strangled her until she passed out.
Seeing her right there hurts my soul.
He taped her wrists together and put her in the noose. He tied the rope to the carousel again to reduce the length of the free rope. Then, he started to hoist her body up by rotating the carousel. Once Are reached the top, he released it. The rope unwinded quickly until it hit its end, which was shorter than it was before due to the knot that Ace tied. The jerking motion snapped Are's neck and killed her. However, the water jugs did not hold up and broke, splashing water and fish everywhere. Ace then cut her free and shoved the excess rope under the spinner. He climbed on top of the swing set and tied the other end of the noose there to make it seem like Are hung herself. He then removed the tape from her wrists, which left red marks.
It was actually really smart of him, though. Like, I didn't expect this out of him.
He tossed the fake note, tape, and broken water jugs into the trash. Finally, he left and went upstairs to meet everyone else in the movie screening room for the motive announcement. That sums up what you've done so far. Isn't that right? Ace Markey, the ultimate jockey.
It rhymed. She didn't mean to do that. She didn't mean to make it rhyme, but she did. Trial closed. Is that it? Is that it for the episode? Oh no. Oh my god, bro. But yeah, man, I can't believe that. I didn't think it would be him. Like, in the comments of the last video I did, like, everybody was saying their theories. I was even starting to believe that it could have been Levi, like, with certain hints that they were planning, but I did not think it would be Ace, bro. I thought it was Eden for sure, but I kind of started to feel bad for him towards the end. But at the end of the day, he did kill somebody. That's not right, you know. And it's unfortunate that, you know, he felt like he had to, because yeah, his personality, it made people, you know, feel weary of him. And when Nico tried to kill him, that was really the final straw. He was like, yeah, somebody's gonna try to kill me probably every day because of how my personality is, so I just gotta kill somebody else. And Are is an easy mark because I know she's kind of vulnerable with how she is with Eden right now, so. But yeah, man, I thought we were gonna get the execution on this episode. I guess not. I guess I'll see you on the next one.